Bell says, my kids are taking karate for self-defense, and I'm trying to help them with understanding energy and apply it to their techniques. Have you encountered difficulties in teaching different age groups?
Age group in terms of like maybe 1 year, 2 year apart is not a big deal. But when you're teaching a 25-year-old and you're teaching a 5-year-old, yeah, it's going to be different because the mental state is different. The physical capacity to learn is different. That's different. But when you're talking about like say a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old, the only difference is the maturity. They're going to probably understand the same thing. I would never teach them energy concept. I teach them muscle memory movements because they cannot mentally get it yet. They can only do what I tell them to do. So I control everything in a certain way they move. And I teach it as simplistic as possible that a kid can understand it. So a lot of times, I'll talk to them in a way like, as an adult, you can say two matters can't occupy the same space at the same time. So if you can learn how to occupy one point, they can't be on that point. They have to move away or they have to take your point away. And so I use examples like, see my hand in a circle. I tell the kids, can you put your arm right in that circle? So she's the kid, so she can put it in. Do it again, just put your arm. So she can, right? Put it in there. Why can't she put her hand in there? Because my arm's occupying. And so when I talk about that, then I'll be like, just touch my nose, right? And I put my hand in the center, because if I'm here, they can't put their hand in the center, so I get just touch my nose. If I say, see how you touch? No, just touch it there. Then just stay there.
Oh, stay there?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you can see this, and I put my hand in the middle, she goes off, because
that's what happens with a kid with ADD.
Can't occupy the same space at the same time. So we break down like that when it comes to children. I break it down very easy to understand. But when they're older, it's much easier to teach them because they can grasp the concept of energy, concept of principles, and stuff like that. So you can see, like, we'll teach that way. And people who are very beginners, I kind of teach it in terms of like this, teach them the science that way, so they can understand. If they can experience it by hand, they understand better. So that's what we're going to do. But the age difference, like I said, it doesn't matter. What matters is really, it's hard for me to teach someone very advanced and someone very beginner at the same time. Yeah. And I'm not talking one-on-one. I'm talking about 20 people, different levels. There's so many different levels. So I generally just put like more advanced on one side, more beginners on the other side, group them up, and I'll teach all the beginners on one side, one thing, and I'll teach advanced on the other. And I break it down. I have a system of doing it, and it works very, very well. But it's not hard to turn, but it's just when you get that great of a gap, it becomes harder because of just getting the children to understand high concept is not their capability yet. So you got to dummy down everything. So I teach everything down to muscle memory. I teach them to understand, but I tell them point your fingers to the sky. Your fingers can turn like this as long as you turn the energy of the wrist. They don't understand that. So I just say, make sure your fingers point up. Make sure your fingers point up. Make sure. So there, she's touching my nose. I say, just get your palm and make sure your fingers point out. A lot of them will tend to push down, push over. I say, no, point your fingers up. Always point your fingers and just push to the middle. Push to the middle and just keep your fingers up. No matter what happens, just draw it in the middle and keep your fingers up. So just to get them to get the basis of understanding structure, how to keep the energy, that's very important. Get them to get the muscle memory. They cannot get the intellectual side. They have to learn from the muscle memory side. So that way their body develops a good habit of muscle memory movement. And then as they get older, that's what they're going to want to do. They're going to not want to do anything else. They're going to do it that way. And so teaching kids is great. I love teaching kids. I have a lot of kids I teach. And
who thinks we need to have an Indie and Kids training series? Raise your hands.
Put your thumbs up in the question thing. Just put a thumbs up.
Come on, put thumbs up. Let us know, because I think that would be really, really cool. And I think that would help a lot of you that have children that you're trying to teach as well. So let us know. If you're watching this later, make sure to put us a thumbs up in the comment below when you see this, whenever that is.